There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, two-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, some people tinker some degree between those two variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well, technically it's our first.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the wonderful Hockenheim circuit for round 6 of season 9 of the Supercheap Auto East Coast V8 series. I'm John Van Ree, and with me tonight I've got Mark Duggan. How are you, Mark?
Yeah, very good, John. Good to be here. Another great track. Throws up usually some chaotic racing, but good, fierce, fast racing. Couple of big braking points on this track, and yeah, makes an opportunity for a big overtake. So expecting some pretty fierce racing tonight.
Yeah, it is a fierce track. We might go straight to that track map where these guys roll out their last few minutes of practice. And of course, this circuit, the Hockenheim ring, located in Baden-Württemberg in central southern Germany. It's also known as the home test circuit for Mercedes, and also a test circuit for Porsche as well. They have the Porsche Experience circuit in the middle of the layout. Used to start on turn 1, we'd go through the Nords curb, and then we used to head straight through turn 2 and head off into the beautiful Black Forest, where in today's age we now turn at turns 2, sweep out through 3 and 4, where we then sweep through the long parabolica, which takes us to the hairpin, which will be a very interesting spot on the circuit for people to overtake tonight. Then we come out of there, down through turn 7, in through what's known as the Mercedes complex, 8, 9 and 10. And then we come back to the traditional mobile curve at turn 11, through Sachs curve in 12, through curves 13, 14, 15, and finish it on turn 16 at the Scuds curve, known as the old original stadium complex. As Mark said, it's a tough circuit. Boys are doing 44 laps tonight. No compulsory pits, 2 compulsory pit stops, unlimited tyres, unlimited fuel. I think we're in for some cracking racing, Mark.
Yeah, absolutely, John. This place, like I said, it always throws up some good racing. Big, wide Grand Prix track, so enables the boys to create a lot of space for themselves. And yeah, a couple of big brake markers, as we said, like that's where the big opportunities are, but it also can create big chaos, so which we saw in the Vets race last time we were here. So looking forward to it. I think, as we know, James Scott is the man to beat again. He's been consistently the fastest, and Dylan Rudd not far behind him, but we've got a great battle between Jacob O'Reilly and Sean McNamara for them golden tickets at the moment. Yeah,
it is a great battle. Let's jump in and have a quick look at that one, Mark, while these guys are still running through these couple of circuits. As we're not that one there, we want to go to the points page. So if we have a quick look, we can see in the overall championship that we have James Scott leading from Lobs Esports on 9:05. Perfect record at the moment, hasn't missed out on one. He's followed by his teammate Dylan Rudd, and then we drop down to the one and only Sean McNamara, 9.5 Sim Sport, holding that first golden ticket, and then we jump down to O'Reilly in the second ticket on 8.12. Cam G. Jones, Connor Nixon, don't rule them out yet. They're still in with a shot. As we know, with no drop rounds, it only takes one bad night and you're in trouble. And then after that, we drop into Aaron Gilbert and Chris Blanchard. That's how the point board looks overall. Might switch and have a look at what our Super 2 drivers are looking like in the our Pro Series drivers are looking like. To be expected, Scott Rudd, McNamara, O'Reilly, Cam Jones, Nixon, Schultz, Gilbert, Dylan Gray in the top 10. Not too bad for our reigning Super 2 champ. And then Tom Freer rounding out the top 10. In the Super 2s, we have Chris Blanchard from WK&P on 8.54. Just ahead of Riot Sim Racing's Alan Dawson. Dave Coleman from Fishy Motorsports in third. Peter Pavlik from Pacific Sea Sports Racing in fourth. Troy Stone Street from... We've got to change that one. We'll fix that one up very shortly. But Troy Stone Street, of course, is, and this is an official announcement, is now part of, not that one, I've got to fix it up later. He's now part of WK&P. Anyway, the boys are about to go out. It's going to go to the vets, being led by McNamara, Blanchard in second from Pavlik, Stone Street in fourth. Gallen, Gamble, Visma, Cross, Russell, Gander and Michael Stewart round out the top 10 there as these guys now roll out to get stuck into it. And a big shout out to our number one ticket holder, the biggest fan, the man we love to see in the chat every week, Terry Taylor. Awesome to have you on board, mate. You've just got all the points. You should be up to date across all the classes now, mate. So definitely hook in, have a blast, mate. We are in for a cracker tonight at this place.
Yeah, absolutely, John. Just going down through the names in the start list there, I do not see Cam Jones. So this could be the bad round that he is actually not participating in. I know you said they've had a few storms down your way. I'm not sure where Cam's located, but it's a shame he's not here tonight because he's had some good speed lately.
Yeah, it is a bit disappointing, and it is definitely been some very rough weather and quite a few power outages throughout Victoria. So if you are down south and you are watching, I hope all is well and not too much damage in your neck of the woods. As we just sit here with Dylan Rudd, keep an eye on how he rolls out for this first part. As of course, just got a couple of guys with us again, who haven't been with us for a little bit, in the forms of Adam Briggs, Thomas Freeman and Tyson Broyd. They haven't been with us for a few weeks, but nice to have those guys back along.
Yeah, good to see Briggsy back here. Been a while since he raced with us, it feels like, but always a good competitor, and yeah, always nice to have Adam around. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting night for, especially for Sean McNamara and Jacob O'Reilly. Them boys have been very, very consistent this season, keeping an eye on the prize of that golden ticket, and both of them have not thrown anything away whatsoever. They've really driven within themselves, I felt. So going to be another interesting battle between them two, but some other big names out there as well. And like I said earlier, there's only one man to beat in this series at the moment. That's James Scott.
Yeah, definitely. Form is with James. Been using the last couple of rounds as a hit out for his Lobs teammate, Jared Philsell. Of course, Pro Series, Qualifier Series continues tomorrow night. But interesting to see how these boys can go here in this first lap. Always good to get a good banker in. As we jump down, we can see we've got Scott tucked up behind Rudd, using the draft as much as he can.
Yeah, plenty of drafting on this track, John, as you know. It's a couple of big, long straightaways, and yeah, oh, we've got somebody in the wall already in a W. Can't quite see who that was.
Might have been Connor Nixon, I think, Mark. One of the Millen cars. Let's go. Yep, Supercheap Auto Replays parked up. And definitely trying to get himself out of the way. Jono Gallen with an off track as well. They're not sure what happened to Jono. He's sitting there in the middle. So definitely not a good start for some of these guys down towards the back of the grid at the moment.
Dan Hall with a spin at turn 16 by the look of it as well.
As Rudd just does a 138.196 to get himself on the board. Sorry, that was Scott. Rudd tucked in behind by 3/10. Jordan Ross another 3/10 back to Hobson, with 8 thousandths of a second separating the two Synergy guys. McNamara in 5th, O'Shea in 6th. So definitely some battling going on already in what would be these boys' first banker lap.
Connor Nixon's been able to get back to the pit, so he hasn't set a time yet, but at least he hasn't had to tow, so he can still participate.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Plenty of time still. Still got 10 minutes left on the board. So you can see at the moment Ty Delaney is leading out our Super 2 guys, sitting in 11th spot. That's a great effort from young Ty. Stone Street sitting back in 13th. So definitely some good laps being rolled out by some of our Super 2 drivers.
Yeah, at the moment you take away them two Lob Esports boys at the top of the table, it's very, very tight, but they've shown a clean set of heels again tonight, so James Scott, he's got about 6.5 tenths on third place Jordan Ross, which is pretty unusual in the V8s, but James is absolutely driving the wheels off this car every week, so doing a great job out there with a 1:38.196.
Yeah, doing quite well. So what Steve Tonkin does here is he crosses the line. He goes into 20, up one spot in the 19th. Great little effort by him. Might go back 21st, Russell Gander. He's got 2 green sectors in this final sector here. Let's see what he can do. May have been a 1X there, a little bit off the track. See what happens as he crosses the line. And he doesn't improve. That would have been a 1X coming through the scud curve there. So I guess he would be a little bit disappointed with that one. So what we might do is jump on board with James Scott. I see he's on his way back out, and we might just jump on so he gets himself organised. And you can see that train definitely already bundling themselves up here quite thick. I'm interested to see how these guys shoot this one out. Brady Baldwin tucked up behind Gamble. Gee guys, one of the... Looks like... Yep, the Lob Boy's getting out of the way a little bit here. A couple of guys coming through. You've got to be so careful on a circuit like this not to impede other cars on your slower outlap. They wait and see whether that has any effect or not on these laps. These boys definitely getting right out of the way. O'Reilly on the blower.
It looks like O'Reilly and Scotty Gamble came together there. I think O'Reilly was on a hot lap, so not sure how that's going to play out, but they definitely made contact around turn 10.
It's going to go to Supercheap Auto replay. Oh, yes. That was a big hit into the back of Gamble. That will be a very interesting one. We'll leave that one for the stewards to sort out, Mark. That's what we might do is we might give everyone a chance to crank up the volume, and we will go for a hot lap sitting in the cockpit seat of James Scott. Scott, couldn't you hear that one?
Yeah, I think he had one of the 95 Sim Sports cars spin in front of him at the exit of the hairpin, so I think that really kind of threw his lap. So he's got enough time to get back to the pits and get some new boots on and go once more.
Now we jump back on Dylan Rudd with a purple sector in sector 1. What does he do when he crosses the line? Doesn't it? Oh, he improves. Halves the gap that he had. And done really well. So great effort there from Dylan. Going to go back. Tom Freer, he's got himself up into 5th. McNamara still sitting in 6th. O'Shea in 7th. Ty Delaney sitting in 13th, still holding on to that Super 2 spot. Doing quite well.
And Jacob O'Reilly still hasn't set a lap yet. We've got 4.5 minutes to go. He got an off track on his first hot lap and then had that incident with Scott Gamble on his second flyer, so he really needs to nail his next one.
Yeah, definitely needs to get himself into the game here. Of course, and we did talk about it at the top of the show. Can't afford to make a mistake. Got his one hand on that golden ticket. See what it's like with the traffic that he's got to contend with here.
Got Teo Serrano tucked up right behind him as well, and he's hasn't set a lap either.
Oh, look at these cars in front. All trying to get out of his way. Nicely done by Jacob. Over the green sector for that second sector. What can he do here? A couple more diving in out of the way. And O'Reilly gets on the board. Puts himself into 9th, so maintains that gap between him and McNamara. O'Shea and Baldwin in there as well.
I'm sure he probably found that bit of traffic a little bit distracting, but overall pretty good lap considering he was under all sorts of pressure to get the job done. So well done, Jacob. He's proven once again that he's got plenty of ability behind the wheel and doing a great job. And like I said, it wouldn't have been easy with all that traffic coming at him while he was trying to set a time under that pressure.
Yeah, definitely hard work. This might drop back. Have a look at how Brenton Hobson's getting on. Look, he's got one of his teammates tucked up behind him. Okay, 13 and a half minutes ticked away here, so only a minute and a half left. Sean McNamara looks like he's found himself a bit of a space. And he's going to check on Gamble, sitting in 10th. He's about to cross the line with one green. There goes yellow on that last sector. Doesn't improve his time. O'Reilly sitting in 9th. And these boys will be out of time. We're getting another one. Blanchard, leader of our Super 2s, he's all the way back in 26th. Quite a few names in front of him, so he's got a lot of work to do this evening. And just going to check on Hobson. He's out in the weeds. And Dylan O'Shea. Getting some power down there. Gamble's gone green again in this first sector. O'Shea sitting in 7th here. James Scott finishes with a purple sector on his lap, but doesn't improve as we've clicked over the time limit. Shea coming into the final corner, and he bails. Three, Timmy Mulford. How's Timmy getting on? Green in his second sector. He improve his time from 33rd. Jumps to 31. Adam Briggs is another man to keep an eye on. Briggsy. Former East Coast champion as well. And he crosses the line, doesn't go any quicker either. Sorry, he does. Jumps himself up into 8th, gets himself into the top 10. He'd be pretty happy with that. Gamble will finish about 11th, I think. And just looking to see anyone else on track. James Scott just cruising back in. I think everyone's pretty much done, Mark.
Yeah, looking like it, John. I don't see anybody setting any good sectors at the moment. So looks like checkered flags run and done. James Scott once again on pole for the 6th time this season.
Yeah, he's done well. As Dan Hall brings the Evolution Racing Team Logitech entry back to the pit lane. We'll then bring up the grid, let everybody have a look at how these guys are all going to line up. As we can see, we've got James Scott from Lobs Esports in pole position alongside his teammate Dylan Rudd in 2nd. Followed by that, we then roll over to Jordan Ross and Brenton Hobson from Synergy Sim Racing. 9.5 Sim Sports, Sean McNamara sits in 5th alongside his teammate. Alongside Synergy Sim Racing's Tom Freer in 6th. Great effort from Tom to get himself into the top 10. Dylan O'Shea from 9.5 lines up in 7th alongside Adam Briggs in 8th. 9th is Brady Baldwin from Synergy Sim Racing, and 10th is Jacob O'Reilly from Vermilion Motorsports. Scott Gamble from WK&P will be 11th. 12th will be Damien Johnstone from Synergy Sim Racing. And we go over the page. Craig Schultz from 9.5 lines up alongside Connor Nixon. And then Anthony Visma from Accelerate Sim Racing in 15th alongside Riley Bilson from 9.5 Sim Sport in 16th. And then the first of our Super 2 drivers, Ty Delaney, the little minnow himself, doing very, very well in getting himself up the grid there. Thomas Freeman lining up alongside him from Fishy Motorsports. Chad Lewis from Evolution Racing in 19th lines up alongside Zachary Vlasbaum from Vermeulen Motorsports. And then the second man in our Super 2s, Troy Stonestreet from WK&P Simsport, lines up alongside Simon Chadwick from 9.5 Simsports. Teo Serrano from Altus Australia in 23rd is alongside Dan Hall from Evolution Racing. And over the page we go to Alan Dawson from Right Sim Racing, lines up alongside Peter Pavlich in 26th. Chris Blanchard from WK&P in 27th, but a lot of work to do. Tyson Broad sitting in 28th from Drop Bear Motorsports. Then we've got Ryan Carlson from 75 Simsports in 29, lining up alongside Big Bear Racing, Will Buchan. And then Timmy Mulford from Phoenix Racing in 31st lines up alongside Steve Tompkins from JWM Esports. Jason Schollier from Pacific Esports Racing in 33rd lines up alongside John Gallen from Pacific Esports. Rusty Gander in 35th, the privateer, lines up alongside David Coleman from Fishy Motorsports. And then we roll over the page to Andrew Hoffman, who is our safety car driver tonight. And then our race control is Reg James, and our DSO is Dave Worrell. That is the grid, Mark.
Yeah, it's going to be a pretty frantic opening stanza, I feel. Heading down into that big hairpin down the back straight for the first time, down into turn 6. It's going to be pretty hectic down there, so I expect to see a lot of boys make some moves, and we may well end up with a safety car on lap 1. It seems to happen quite a bit at this track, but really looking forward to it.
Yeah, it is a place of chaos, that first hairpin on the first start of the race. So hopefully these boys can manage to get the job done. We're about to find out as the lights are about to go out. 3 and all the reds are on. They are out and we're away. A bit of a lock up there from Dylan Rudd. That's allowed somebody to get past him. He's dropped back behind Hobson as well. James Scott gets the jump though. Jordan Ross up 1, McNamara up 2. It's a little bit of smoke further back in the pack, but it looks like everyone's still rolling. Maybe Baldwin came off. But as we come through now into the Parabolica for the first time, heading down into the hairpin that we've talked about. Let's see how these guys all handle this. Might jump back on a bit further back with Briggs too wide in front of him with O'Shea and Hobson. Oh, nicely get through. Ty Delaney in an incident further back. Looks like everyone's going to get around though. Chad Lewis going backwards a bit as well. There's a couple of spinners.
Yeah, Lewis just getting going again. Ty Delaney, not sure if it was just went too deep under brakes and had to avoid someone or what, but he ended up running a bit off track, and that's thrown him down the order, so he's lost about 5 spots. Great start from Sean McNamara. Dylan Rudd, yeah, he bagged it up a bit off the start there and went backwards very quickly, but he's managed to gain 1 spot back from Dylan O'Shea and Brenton Hobson, or 2 spots from Dylan O'Shea and Brenton Hobson.
Definitely a bit of 2 wide racing. Saw Visma involved in a little bit of door-to-door battling. As we pick it back up near the front, Jordan Ross sitting in P2. He's up 1 spot. Scott takes him over the line. McNamara sitting in P3. Ahead of Rudd and O'Shea, Hobson, Briggs, O'Reilly back in 8th.
Tom Freo in the pit lane already, John, with the black flag. I'm presuming that's for a jump start.
Oh, that would be a big blow this early on in a field this size. That'll take a bit of work for him to get back from there, as we might just go back to that pack as it settles down. Just check on Connor Nixon. See the group in front. Another incident involving Ty Delaney and Zach Blasbaum on lap 1 being noted as well. Might see if we can go back and have a look at that one. Assuming it was the one down into the hairpin. Go to the Supercheap Auto replay. So Ty went to the outside a little hot, found the grass, so nothing in that incident just there.
Blasblom and Chad Lewis could have been involved. Tom Freer and Anthony Visma, sorry, had a mental blank there. Tom Freer and Anthony Visma, and a little bit of door-to-door argy-bargy on lap 1 as well.
Yeah, definitely a bit of contact between Lewis and Blasbaum. We'll leave that one for the stewards to sort out. Might just jump back on with Brenton Hobson. He is in a great battle here with his teammate Adam Briggs tucked up behind him. Or season 9 of East Coast, and there is 3 championships sitting with these boys just here on screen. A great little battle.
Jacob O'Reilly up to a good start as well, John. He's up a couple of spots from P10 up to P8, so he's doing everything right again. Only early days, lap 3 of 44, but he's heading in the right direction.
Yeah, doing very well, as the field's still fairly well compressed together when you look at the track map. So definitely some good contest going on.
Yep, Jordan Ross still hanging on to James Scott. Dylan Rudd's been able to get past Sean McNamara back into P3. Sean will be looking to stay on the back of Dylan Rudd and just get dragged up towards the leaders here, hopefully. That's what he'll be hoping for. But Dylan making a pretty good recovery from that tardy start he had on the opening lap.
Yeah, done very well. The other thing to note too, Simon Chadwick for the Super 2 drivers is up into P14 at the moment. He's got himself ahead of Stone Street and Blanchard, so great effort from Simon. He's getting himself back into the game. And Dylan O'Shea riding shotgun for McNamara at the moment. Briggs slowly starting to close that gap down. Might just have a look how Russell Gander's getting on for the Gander squad, sitting back in 35th. He's still with us, just hanging on to the back of the pack just. Great to have some of the Apex boys in the chat. Following him along, Dan Hall. And Vlasbom, that was very tight coming out of the hairpin.
Dan Hall with a solid start as well. He's up 7 positions, John, up from 25th into 17th. So good effort from Dan. He's just got Anthony Bisma a couple of car lengths up in front. But yeah, he's got Zach Blasbom all over the back of him at the moment.
Yeah, definitely making hard work. And just going to have a look something up to John O'Gallen. Not sure what happened to him. Just have a quick look in the replay. I think he might have done this on his own in the hairpin. And a little bit hot, bit of tyre smoke. That's one way of cooking them. And the big Pelican goes shooting off the end of the straight. And just going to jump on Craig Schultz. He's in the thick of it now. He's got Connor Nixon right behind. And see how you get that little bit of a slipstream coming down into that hairpin as well, which invites the driver to make the overtake. Closes that one right down. Of course, one of our former Super 2 champs, doing very well, running in the top 10 here, up 4 spots. Be pretty happy with that. It's side by side. And looks like Connor Nixon's gotten past. Damien Johnstone going to have a bit of a look in here as well. And a couple of incidences now being noted as well with Dawson and Mulford. Race control being quite busy tonight.
Yep, it's that type of track, John.
Scott Gamble tucked up behind these boys as well. Gamble down one spot from where he started.
Yeah, Dave Coleman was off track there as well. Not sure what happened to Dave, but he's got it going again.
Oh, bit of contact. Someone's given Dave the old chief too. Facing backwards there. Got himself going, no. Joys of there not being too many walls at this circuit.
Dylan Rudd's making good progress up towards the back of Jordan Ross. James Scott's been able to open up that gap a bit. He's jumped out to a 2.6 second lead at the moment. But yeah, Dylan Rudd's really closed that gap down on Jordan Ross, and he'll be looking to make a move as soon as possible to try and get back on terms with his teammate James Scott in P1.
Yeah, definitely working hard at it. Definitely some good racing here in this group. Going to go a bit further forward back on the Jordan Ross. Rudd definitely working very hard behind.
Jordan looking a little bit vulnerable here, John.
Yeah, I was about to say that draft's working really well if you can get it coming through the parabolica, and here comes Rudd. Lap 7 of 44 here. And definitely getting the job done. Neil said after James Scott, 3 seconds up the road. It's going to go a little bit further back. Simon Chadwick putting a lot of pressure on Thomas Freeman here. And Visma still tucked up in behind him. Hey, Chadwick, of course, leading out the Super 2 boys and doing a great job of it this evening.
Yeah, Simon's coming back from a fairly long break from sim racing, so doing a good job out there. He's up 7 spots, so that's a pretty good effort from Simon.
Yeah, doing very well. Great to see Craig Schultz still under a lot of pressure from Gamble.
Yep, and the big mover so far tonight, Don and John, is Teo Serrano. He's up 10 spots, so he's just in front of Thomas Freeman and Simon Chadwick, Anthony Visma. So Teo doing a good job out there.
Yeah, great to see the oldest Australia entry. And of course, you'd be hoping that Gamble and Schultz in front keep battling.
Yeah, unfortunately for Teo, he's a little bit in no man's land at the moment. He hasn't got anybody to draft off, so he'll be really hoping that those two boys keep battling and slow himself down. But I just saw Scotty Gamble make that move into the hairpin, so Craig Schultz is back down to 12th now.
Yeah, definitely going backwards a little bit, but still up 1 from where he started, so he'll definitely be battling away with all of that. Going to go a little bit further back. Ty Delaney and Blanchard running together here. This is a bit of a battle for the Super 2 lads. The minnow and the veteran. Looks like Tyson Broad in the mix to this as well. Great little 3-way battle. So definitely going really well. And of course, one bloke missing tonight is Cube Racing's Scott Van Loon, so big shout out to him. I know he's heading somewhere out in the west at a motel watching us, wanting to be out there racing with everybody else.
Yeah, big hello to Scotty. Hope you're well, mate. Tyson Broad there, just picking up 2 for 1. Picked up Ty Delaney and Chris Blanchard in the one move. So good effort there from Tyson.
And still plenty of battling at the front as well. Jordan Ross right up behind Rudd now. So Rudd didn't get the gap that he was looking to get. And doing very well to hang on here, but you can see that's brought McNamara, O'Shea back up into this battle here.
Yeah, all these boys picking up the toe off Rudd now, and yeah, Rudd's a bit like Teo Serrano. He's in no man's land. Hasn't got the draft from his teammate James Scott. James is nearly 4 seconds up the road now, so yeah, Rudd is just towing these boys around. I'm sure these boys are probably trying to fuel save as much as they can while they've got Rudd towing them. So going to be an interesting battle in the pit lane as well, John.
Oh, it will be. I just jumped back to this battle we were on before with Broad, Delaney and Blanchard. These lads were 3 wide going into the Mercedes complex. Talk about having a crack. Broad's got himself back in front of him this time, as Hobson's the first one to peel off into pit lane. Hobbo diving down. Interesting call. Hobbo usually goes with the long strategy. Mixing it up this evening. Just checking up on our friend Dan Hall as well from Evolution Racing Team. He's in the thick of a battle as well. He's got Tom Freer right behind. Blast Bomb in front. So Dan, another one of the guys, comes from Vets. Another one of the boys trying his hand at the Pro Series qualifying events. It's 3 wide. Oh, smart move by Hall to get on the brakes and get out of that. Live to play another day.
I thought that was going to end in tears, that one, John. 3 wide into the hairpin, but credit to all the boys. They managed to hold it off there. Tom Freer with a big one.
This is crazy. Loving it. Can't tell me that these boys aren't having a crack, Mark.
No quarters given here. Tom Freer is really determined to get past Hall, and Hall's really determined to not let him pass. So great racing there. It's allowed Zach Vlasbom to open up a car length or 2 while these 2 boys get stuck into it. Troy Stone Street in his new colours, just sitting behind these boys, hoping to pick up any crumbs if they decide to drop the biscuit.
Yeah, he's definitely got himself in a good position at the moment, up 2 spots. Freer down 12. Of course,
yeah, well,
had that drive through.
Yeah, absolutely. He got a black flag from a jump start, we believe. So he's he dropped all the way down through the back of the field, but he's managed to get himself back up into 18th. And yeah, he's really in a battle now. He's just got past Dan Hall.
Oh, Stone Street. Almost into the back of Hall there as well. Nicely gets it pulled up. And he's going to have a look where Hobson came out after that pit stop. He's come back out in traffic. That may hamper his strategy a bit there, Mark.
Yeah, definitely not what Hobbo would have wanted. Usually pretty good with his pit strategy, so he's been able to get past Blanchard fairly quickly there. Got Tyson Broad in front of him. If he can sneak past Broad. He's got a little bit of clear air with the next one up from that is Troy Stone Street. So, yeah, usually you'd see Hobbo pretty spot on with his strategy. Unusual that he'd put himself in traffic like that.
And we'll just jump back up the front. The P2, Dylan Rudd still has Ross the Boss tucked in behind. Hasn't opened up a gap there. And we've had an incident with Blanchard. Just going to have a look what's happened here. And I think Tyson might be involved as well. Blanchard with a bit of a lose, clipping with Delaney. Both cars taking their time to get back on. This has happened, of course, in the stadium complex. Both of them into the pits. Timmy Mulford into the pit lane as well. And he's going to go back on Dylan O'Shea, riding shotgun for the boss. Sean McNamara. Briggsy slowly closing that gap, so could be an interesting five-way battle when Briggsy gets on the back.
I just had a quick look at that Blanchard Delaney one. Looked like Blanchard just got loose coming off one of the curbs there, and car just snapped sideways and Ty had nowhere to go.
Yeah, very unfortunate for all those boys, but get themselves in through the pits and back out again. And of course, these guys tonight getting one fast repair, so probably lucky it happened where it happened. Slightly earlier stop than what they first planned. As Damien Johnstone now peels off into the pits.
Yeah, we're coming up to quarter race, third race distance, John, so the boys are looking to split it evenly. We're not far off the pit strategy window.
The racecraft boys from 95 Sim Sports doing it very well at the moment. They'd be pretty happy where they're sitting. McNamara sitting in fourth. One hand on that golden ticket. Race 6, of course, only 2 more after this one. O'Reilly a few seats back. Nixon not doing too bad as well, sitting in 8th spot in that battle. Or sitting in 8th, sorry, but in the top end of that battle.
Thomas Freeman, John, another one just quietly going about his business out there. He's up 7 spots at the moment into P11, so Thomas doing a good job, just behind Craig Schultz at the moment.
Yeah, definitely looking to make some moves on Schultzy here. Schultz under a lot of pressure as O'Reilly, Nixon and Gamble peel off for their stops. Freeman shows the nose and tucks it back in. Gets himself going again on the gas. They're seeing Serrano and Vlasbom into the pits as well for Vermeulen. O'Reilly's in. The Vermeulen boys getting their stops out of their early stop out of the way now. And Freeman having a look here on Schultz up the inside. And I get this move nicely done. Mark Cochran looking for a bit of a look past 20th on the board. So Baldwin, O'Reilly, Dixon, Connor Nixon is in 19th. Ryan Carson's 20th. Pavlich is 21st. Gamble back in 22nd after making his stop. And then, of course, Shalia, Teo Serrano, Russell Gander, Vlasbom, Dave Coleman after his incident earlier. He is back in 27th. Ty Delaney's all the way back in 31st. And then we start getting into our race control and Riley Belson, who hasn't turned a lap in this so far, along with our safety car driver. And we'll get the old ticker going as well so everyone can see the full field. There's McNamara. And O'Shea still doing very well here. We can see how Briggs has now closed that gap right down to a second. So he's taken half a second out of those boys in the last couple.
Craig Shields peels off into the pits as well, John. So lap 15 of 44.
Yeah, and Baldwin and Dan Hall going with him as well, Mark. Well, of course, Hobson was the man who went in on lap 9. He's in 11th at the moment. He's doing the leader of our guys that have stopped. And just going to go a little bit further back. Damien Johnstone. This is another great little battle pack here with O'Reilly, Johnstone and Nixon. Of course, Johnstone can see Jacob O'Reilly in front from Vermeulen. And O'Shea, Briggs, Freeman, Visma and Chadwick now peel off for that first stop as well. Have a look at the stop times in a second. Let's get a bit of a picture of how well they're all going. So you have Damien Johnstone. Briggs has come out just in front of him.
Brenton Hobson proving his strategy was spot on, John. He's been able to make his way past Connor Nixon, all them boys that he was behind before. So he's currently sitting in P6. So we shouldn't have doubted Hobbo's strategy.
No, we shouldn't have. He's tucked up behind Dylan O'Shea. So what we might do is just have a bit of a look at the pit time of some of these guys, Mark, just to get a picture of how much they've been in for. So O'Shea stopped for 15 seconds. Hobson only stopped for 11, so there's 4 seconds in it there. Briggs was 16, O'Reilly 15, 14 for Johnstone, 15. So it looks like on average, top 20 guys that have pitted already have all stopped around that 15-second mark. So not too many gone the big fill, and not too many have gone the short fill as McNamara now peels off. Starting to see that top bunch make their move. Oh, definitely hammer time now. If this bloke wants to get past his team boss, they needs to put in a couple of good spankers.
Yeah, so McNamara's come out in P6 just ahead of Adam Briggs there. Got Brenton Hobson and his teammate Dylan O'Shea in front of him.
Yeah, done very well. Anyway, Mac is back in there. Going to go back to that Connor Nixon battle. And Connor at the moment not too far behind O'Reilly and McNamara. They'd be looking at getting past those two to get a hand on that yellow, on that golden ticket. And of course, the man leading our Super 2s at the moment is Troy Stonestreet, back in 18th. and he's only one spot ahead of Coleman. And Dave Coleman is yet to pit, and nor is Scott, Rudd and Ross, so they're all going long up the front.
Yeah, Rudd definitely hasn't been able to shake Jordan Ross. Jordan Ross doing a great job to hang on here, but Dylan just hasn't been able to shake him at all. Jordan happy to sit in that draft and probably fuel save as much as he can and maybe look to get out in front of Dylan with a shorter fill.
Yeah, it definitely would be a good game plan. Don't forget it's 2 stops as well, so the guys still got to make one more stop after this one. He's going to jump on board with Freeman as he's still trying to get his way past Craig Schultz. We were on with these two a bit earlier. Has a look coming down into the hairpin. And Tom Freeman gets that Fishy Motorsports ZB past.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we saw that exact move only a few laps ago, John.
Yeah.
So, just prior to their pit stop. So well done to Thomas. Or Sean McNamara was able to get past Brenton Hobson at the same spot as well on the same lap. So McNamara back up to P5, Hobson into P6.
And our lead 3 cars have all pitted. So we'll see how this pans out for O'Shea. He rolls around. Can't see, the cars are rolling in pit lane.
Yeah, Scott's off the jacks and going. There goes Rudd.
I think O'Shea has done well to get himself into P2. Just going to double check that pit time again on the board. So O'Shea took 15 seconds, Rudd took 16.8, so Rudd taking 1.5 seconds more fuel. But it's a difference in that.
McNamara got past as well. McNamara similar fuel strategies. McNamara was 16.8 stationary time, so very similar to Rudd, but Dylan O'Shea's been able to clear his team boss and Rudd. Adam Briggs is in P5, Hobson 6. Jordan Ross is down to P7 now. Ross with a long stop, he was 18.4, John.
Yeah, just looking at the pit lane time as well. Interestingly, it's got to do with the outlap, or the in-lap, sorry, for Rudd. It's where he's lost his time. He's McNamara pretty well much matching the same time frame in pit lane. It just goes to show how important those in-laps and out-laps are. And getting that undercut, overcut to work for you.
Yeah, Dylan Rudd's been able to get up the inside of Sean McNamara there in the final complex of corners. So Dylan back into P3 and now setting off, chasing down Dylan O'Shea from 95 Sim Sports.
Yeah, doing quite well. And Russell Gander, Chad Lewis. Oh, Rusty is coming down to the Mercedes complex. Oh! I think that was Lewis into the back of Mulford, I think. And then hooked into the other two. Leave that one to the race control to sort out. Russell Gander was doing quite well before that. I think he was up in the 25th or up to P23. Big Gander cheer squad in this evening, Mark.
Yeah, good to see the fan base cheering on their drivers. He's doing a good job out there. He's new to the series, but yeah, learning a lot and reveling in the challenge.
Yeah, definitely seeing great improvements in vets as well. Rusty, one of the split 3 boys. As Jordan Ross here, putting a lot of pressure on Briggsy. Bobson tucked up behind, getting a bit of a synergy train happening. He's going to go back, check on Blanchard. He's trying to fight his way back after that tank slapper he had earlier.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he repaired the car when he pitted earlier, but he's missing his boot again, so, or maybe he didn't repair it from that earlier incident.
I'm not 100% certain. I didn't see the car after it came back out, so maybe he hasn't. And just going to go a bit further up Troy Stone Street in 18th. And, oh, sideways! Contact! With Baldwin. Looks like Brady has... Yeah, Brady's redressed that as well. Great sportsmanship there, Mark. Great sportsmanship there from Brady Baldwin, redressing the contact that he's had.
Yeah, I really expect nothing less from Brady. Good guy, likes the race clean. Clearly knows he made a mistake, made the apology straight away and let Stoney back through. So good racing all round, and that's what, when you're involved in an incident with someone and they do the right thing straight away, it kind of takes the steam out of your helmet, so to speak.
Yeah, it definitely does. Great to see the sportsmanship. To jump back on with Damien Johnstone here in 9th. And he is in the thick of it. He's got Connor Nixon right up his clacker, and he's hunting down Jacob O'Reilly up in front of him. In the middle of a Vermeulen sandwich is Johnstone. All these boys up 2, 3 and 4 spots respectively. Definitely some fierce competition this evening. Just going to go back up, check on Dylan O'Shea. Still sitting in 2nd spot. He's got former teammate Dylan Rudd from Lob Esports tucked up behind him.
Yeah, Dylan, the 2 Dylans here. Dylan Rudd's been able to close that gap down pretty quickly, and won't be long before we see him all the way tucked up under the rear wing of Dylan O'Shea here.
Definitely the thick of it. We sort of go bump back just a little bit further behind those 2. We've got this one going on here between Ross and McNamara. Battle of the team bosses. As Macca defends quite well coming down into the old stadium complex. Getting down into the Sucks curve. Sucks curve, say it right, John. Back up to the Suds curve. Ross working very hard here on the back of McNamara. Looking for every opportunity.
Yeah, Jordan got some good speed tonight. He probably one of the longest stationary times out there, him and James Scott. Both around 18.5 seconds, and Jordan's been able to make up a couple of positions again since he come out of the pits, and now he's all the way back under Sean McNamara's rear wing here, and probably looking to make a move down into the hairpin.
Yeah, definitely battling his way nicely, side by side action. It's a done, very tight behind with Briggs, now right behind McNamara.
Yeah, a little bit of contact there with Briggs and McNamara. Not a lot in it, but Just unsettled the car just slightly there.
And Chad Lewis in for his second stop, I believe, or is it might be a drive-through, not sure. That shuffles him back behind Gallen.
Yeah, no, that was a drive-through issued from race control there.
Bit of a battle with Gander and Gallen. Gallen getting past Rusty. And it's going to go a little bit further up. Ty Delaney, the minnow from Fishy Motorsports. He is being hunted down by Timmy Mulford behind. Lyman Chadwick doing really well this evening for the Super 2 boys. Leading them, but he's got Dave Coleman hunting him down. But Coleman is yet to make his first stop mark. Nor is Gander.
Yeah, we've seen Dave deploy this strategy a few times this season, where he just drives until there's only canvas left on the wheels and then makes 2 quick stops.
Yeah. Definitely an interesting strategy.
Brady Ballwood sneaking past there on Dave Coleman.
Brady working his way back up. Coleman definitely trying to hang on a bit to here. Stone Street tucking up behind him now. Look, Stone Street goes wide. He's going to go back up to John Stone. Still in that Vermeulen sandwich. It looks like they've caught up to Hobbs a little bit here, Mark.
Yeah, Hobson, I'm sure he pitted quite early. I think around lap 9, lap 10 he pitted. So I think he was the first stopper in the field. So I'm sure his tyres are feeling a little bit second hand, but still doing a good job out there. He's still got a few car lengths on Jacob O'Reilly. Adam Briggs, Sean McNamara and Jordan Ross not that far in front either.
They're definitely in with a fight here.
Tom Frere as well, John. He's slowly making his way back through the field after that drive-through penalty on lap 1 for the jump start. He's up to P13, so I think he started P4 or 5. So he's just slowly chipping away and ticking them off one by one.
Yeah, great comeback drive. He'd be pretty chuffed for this. We've seen Tom do the old not qualify and come through the field quite a few times here at East Coast. A little bit different when you got that red mist from jumping the start to get that composure and then get on with it. And he's doing that very well this evening.
Yeah, definitely likes doing it the hard way.
Yeah, definitely. Ty Delaney here, tucked right up behind Alan Dawson. Alan, of course, running in second in the championship at the moment for the Super 2 guys. He's got Blanchard quite a few spots below. So these battles definitely championship to confining. Alfred in the middle of this as well. Some of our great battling here amongst the Super 2 boys. Might have your pro boys like James Scott out in front, but these guys here race just as hard.
Yeah, definitely, John. There's no freebies anywhere in the field here. Everybody pushes each other to the maximum. Probably the only one that doesn't get pushed at the moment is James Scott, but He's just on another level at the moment, and but everybody else, yeah, it's just nose to tail. There's no rest. It's just race-long battles. So I'm sure all the boys are out there having a blast.
Yeah, definitely having a crack. Great little overtake there from Anthony Visser from Accelerate. Getting past Craig Schultz. He's going to jump on for Tyson Broad as he goes past Simon Chadwick. He's going to go back up to Hobson. He's diving in for that stop mark. I reckon those tyres are cooked.
So what do we got? We've got 18 laps to go, John. So yeah, he's not far off that 2/3 race distance. So I'm sure his outlap's going to be a joy with some rubber underneath him.
Yeah, he'll definitely enjoy it. He's going to check on O'Reilly. He's sitting in 7th, up 3 spots. He's still ahead of John Stone. And he's about 4 seconds down the road from Adam Briggs up in front. So, bit of work still to be done by Jacob here. But he has closed that gap to McNamara and has put a car between him and Nixon. And of course, I believe it probably got to do with the blackouts in Victoria. No Cam Jones tonight. So, bit sad for our golden ticket battle that we had raging, but still a great effort from Nixon, O'Reilly and McNamara this evening.
Yeah, definitely a shame Cam Jones isn't here tonight. He's always a great entertainer, good driver, fierce competitor, races as hard as anybody out there, and always got good speed. And yeah, just a shame he's not here tonight. Hopefully we see him next week.
Yeah, I hope so. Just going to have a quick look. Brenton Hobson's come out after his second stop in P15 mark. So we'll see how that pans out for him as we roll through the next stage.
Yeah, and he's got clear track in front of him, so the strategist got this one right for sure. He's, I think last time he came out in around P23 or something, P24. So currently P15 in clear air on fresh tyres. Will be a breath of fresh air for Hobbo.
Yeah, Hobbo will be pretty happy with that fresh air. As we're seeing O'Reilly and Nixon in the pits. And Jordan Ross still holding that gap that he has on McNamara. And of course, it is the Lob Esports boys having a bit of a blinder here. James Scott is 9.5 seconds up the road from Dylan Rudd. Dylan O'Shea in 3rd.
Connor Nixon getting the jump on his teammate, Jacob O'Reilly there in the pit stop. Jacob's come out in P14, just in front of Brenton Hobson. Connor Nixon in P13.
Yeah, definitely some good battles. Zach Flassbaum, he's tucked right up behind Ty Delaney now. I'm just waiting to see how some of these guys roll out in their next set of stops. Dawson here from Riot. He's got Mulford having a real look here down into the hairpin. Mulford gets the job done.
Zach Blashbaum on that current lap at the hairpin, having to take evasive action, went a little bit too deep, trying to put a move on Ty Delaney. Ended up having to run off circuit to avoid everybody.
It's cost him a spot to Pavlich. Send Damien Johnstone into the pits. Vlasbom now trying to fight his way back past the Pelican from Pacific E Racing of Pavlik.
Dawson and Pavlich into the pit.
Craig Schultz now under pressure from Nixon. A lot of cars apparently are coming close to being incident points as well, so still a long way to go.
We've still got a third race distance to go. Connor Nixon with a big move up the outside there of Craig Schultz.
Smart play.
Connor with the shortest stop on that second pit stop by a fair margin. He only was stationary for 10 seconds, and I think we've seen a few races where Connor Nixon has really struggled to get home with fuel, so be interesting to see if he's got enough to get home tonight.
Yeah, it will be. McNamara and Gamble into the pits. Starting to see some of the wise old veterans going in. McNamara, of course, leading the veterans class as well.
McNamara's been able to come out in front of Connor Nixon.
Jacob O'Reilly getting past Schultz. We took over lap 31. Delaney and Tonkin into the pits. Jump on with Timmy Mulford. He's hunting down. Well, he's missing his rear wing at the moment. And he has Dan Hall behind him. But Mulford, of course, leading our Super 2 drivers at the moment. They're making the one stop. Briggs is in for his stop as well. His second one, get it out of the way. And McNamara at the moment's the man leading our two stops.
Yeah, Briggs is off the Jackson going. McNamara's going to have probably a bit too much momentum. Maybe not. This is going to be very, very close.
Side by side into turn 2. McNamara gets the job done. Of course, allows Briggs to sit into that slipstream.
Lucky for McNamara, he's got Tom Freer in front of him, so Sean will be getting a bit of a toe up here as well. But yeah, that pretty much is resumed to where they were prior to the pit stops. McNamara putting a good move on there on Tom Freer, not letting the teammates slow him down at all, and Briggsy's got through as well. Good effort there from John O'Gallen, letting the
boys through, yeah. Done well.
Yep.
Great little battle here between Briggs and McNamara. Not much in it between the pair of them. Of course, this is the battle for 5th. And Freer not too far behind Briggsy. So still waiting for Scott, Rudd, O'Shea and Ross to have their final stop. And of course Tom Freer's the odd man out at the moment. Still requiring to do another stop. Connor Nixon, O'Reilly, Hobson have all done theirs. Baldwin still has to do one. Might just bring up the pit strategy window and see what's going on with the top 20. So Mulford still needs to stop. Chadwick leading the Super 2 boys out of our stoppers, 2 stoppers.
Adam Briggs really applying the blowtorch here to Sean McNamara with P5 and 6.
Yeah, definitely some good close racing, these two. They've been at it for most of the night. McNamara riding the curb and then some there on the inside. Creates a slower exit, opens the door up for Briggs, and Briggs is through going into turn 2. McNamara here will be looking at making a comeback at it.
Yeah, definitely Sean will be looking to come straight back at him down into the hairpin here.
Briggs manages to hang on. Brody Baldwin into the pits for his second stop now. And Mulford. See how quick where Gamble is. He's running in P12. He's done his 2 stops. Down 1 from where he started. Connor Nixon's up 6 spots, Mark. After his second stop, Rudd's gone in for his second. And so's O'Shea and Ross have reacted.
Yeah, Connor Nixon definitely the shortest stopper on the second time round. So, like I said, he's only stationary for 10 seconds.
So let's just have a quick look here where these boys are. They're still in that pit lane. Can't find them on that one. Try the helicopter. They're on their way out. And Briggsy's got him. He's past Ross. McNamara's going to scoot through too. A little bit of a shuffle of positions there. O'Shea's behind. Ross in a 9-5 sandwich. And see Ross looking to the inside, heading down into the hairpin. As they go through the parabolic, a big tie from O'Shea. 3 wide. Oh, and he hooks. O'Shea a little bit loose there, taps into Ross, but then drops back.
Yeah, just a couple of metres too deep there from Dylan O'Shea. Just made a little bit of contact there with Jordan Ross. Lucky he didn't take himself, Jordan and Sean McNamara out there. But in the end, it was good avoiding driving from McNamara and Jordan there.
The battle here still continuing on though. Ross wants a piece of McNamara now up the inside. Into the Sachs curve. That was a great move from Jordan Ross. As James Scott is in pit lane as well. And back out again, I think.
Yeah, good move there from Jordan. Sean also been pretty alert and well aware of what he needs to do to keep chipping away for that golden ticket. So Sean doing the smart thing there. Now he's got his teammate Dylan O'Shea coming at him.
Yeah, probably would have thought Dylan might have just played the rear gunner role. Connor Nixon would be the man, keeping an eye on. He's got himself in front of O'Reilly. He'd be looking to maybe get some more points if he gets in front of McNamara. McNamara definitely not letting O'Shea walk away here. I'll just stay with this little group for a minute. Might just roll up. Have a look at our mate Adam Briggs. He's in a bit of a contest now as well. As Jordan Ross scoots up the inside, O'Shea's latched onto the back of this group. Definitely close contest. O'Shea wants a piece of the action here. Looking up the inside, going into turn 2. Great move on Briggs.
The joys of fresh tyres, John.
Yeah, they never hurt.
Probably should mention the leader here, James Scott. He's got a 10.5 second lead. Yeah, he's doing what he's done all season long and just dominating proceedings. So once again, yeah, just showing everybody how good he actually is in this car, and yeah, putting on a real masterclass for everybody.
Yeah, of course. James be one of the men to watch when we get into the official Logitech G Pro Series after the qualifying runs go through. Absolutely top of his game driver at the moment. World-class performance. It's probably the word I'd like to use. And doing very well. I'm just going to check on our mate Craig Schultz. He is caught right up behind of Zachary Vlashbaum. So lap 37 of 44 here, still some good contests been going on. Tom Freo in for that final stop. Let's see where he rolls out. And just gonna check on our mate Connor Nixon. It's just in front of Jacob O'Reilly.
Tom Frere with another black flag, John. I'm presuming that's for either incident points or possibly speeding in pit lane.
Yeah, we were told earlier from Race Control's little helper that a few boys were in trouble with incident points. Just going to click on John O'Gallen, see what happened then. This is a bit of a Supercheap Auto replay. He's locked him up again going into the hairpin. Managed just to get it straight though. Not too much damage.
Zach Blasbaum, Brady Baldwin, Craig Schultz having a great battle out here too for P14, 15 and 16.
Yeah, battles everywhere at the moment still. This deep into the race, always great to see.
just down to 7 laps to go now, John. So, yeah, time's ticking away very quickly.
Just going to check on our mate Brenton Hobson. He's got his teammate Damien Johnstone tucked right up behind him. Hobart, of course, running the slightly alternate strategy this evening. Of course, a lot of these bigger teams using tonight as a test bed for tomorrow night's qualifier series. Go back to that Schultz flash bomb battle. Craig now on the move.
Yeah, Brady's been able to get past Blast Bomb, and now Schultz tucked up behind him. Anthony Visner doing a great job up in P13. Not that far outside the top 10, so well done to Anthony. Thomas Freeman just ahead of him in P12, Scotty Gamble P11.
Yeah, the Viz doing really well. You should be pretty happy with that one. Up 2 spots. Connor Nixon up 6 spots. Sitting in 8th. Jordan Ross still sitting in P3. Great drive from Ross the Bossier this evening. Still under pressure though from O'Shea. I think O'Shea still wouldn't mind putting a foot on the podium.
Jacob O'Reilly's been able to get past Connor Nixon. So McNamara now in P6, Jacob O'Reilly P7. So pretty much what we've seen all season long for these two, battling out for the golden tickets. Yeah, they've really shadowed each other in terms of results.
Of course, Jordan Ross missing a couple of the earlier rounds. He would have been in that contest as well.
Yeah, but I mean, if anybody's been watching the qualifying series for the Pro Series, all these boys are driving well in that series as well, so no surprises.
No, definitely no surprises. Of course, Ross was a 22 and 23 Pro Series driver. And so was McNamara. So O'Reilly really taking the sword to some veterans in front of him here, which is great to see. Some of the younger guys coming through. Connor Nixon, if you didn't get a chance to read the article, he's on the bubble for the Pro Series Quali Series at the moment, sitting in 21st. 2 races to go. A great move here. Shea gets the job done, maybe, maybe not. Ross coming back at him. Great side-by-side racing. Shoalia with the box seat watching this. Still too wide. And we're going to go O'Shea into the old stadium complex. Leads Ross into the Sachs curve.
Great door-to-door racing there from them two boys. It's not easy in the sim to race side by side and keep your bearings and your wits about you, but these two boys got plenty of experience and plenty of pace and doing a great job there.
Yeah, very well done. Just going to go back, check on Simon Chadwick. He's the man leading our Super 2s at the moment. He's tucked up behind Zachary Vlasbom. just in front of this contest as well. Of course, Stone Street back in 20th.
Yeah, sorry, John. Not sure what's going on with Blasblom here. He was ahead of Craig Schultz just 1 or 2 laps ago, and Schultz has well and truly cleared out, and he's now fell behind Dan Hall, but Blasblom heading to the pit.
Right, just going to have a look at this one here, if it comes up. Supercheap Auto Ripple.
Sorry, John, he's got a black flag. No doubt that's for incident points.
Yeah, he has overshot the hairpin by a long way and then turned left instead of right. The head down the back straight. Probably not the quickest way to do it, but car was still in one piece.
Yeah, that drive-through penalties really put a dampener on his night. What it was a pretty solid night of racing. It dropped him down to P20.
He's definitely would have hurt. Big shout out to the mares as well, cheering on Dylan O'Shea. Nice to have him in, watching a bit of East Coast action, getting himself away from the Japanese wrestling. And James Scott here is now 14 seconds out on lap 42, 44. He's got it pretty well much wrapped up. He's worked his way up to P12. He's the next man in front to lap. Dylan Rudd is 14 seconds down the road, but 5 seconds up the road from Dylan O'Shea. The Lobby Sports boys having another great night here. O'Shea still under pressure from Ross. Ross hasn't given up on getting on that podium. Adam Briggs just lurking in the background there as well, trying to get a foot on it. So definitely some solid competitors here to finish this one off.
Yeah, absolutely, John. We only got a couple of laps to go, so yeah, Jordan Ross really will be looking to try and sneak past Dylan O'Shea if he can. He doesn't want to do it too early. He doesn't want to give Dylan the chance to come back.
So bunching back up again as we come through Suds Curve. We appreciate the work you do in the Vets broadcast, Simon. And Jordan Ross here, he would like that podium. He loves coming in and having a chat to us after the race. Of course, no safety cars this evening. Oh, Jordan getting very close there.
Yeah, absolutely nothing in it. Chris Blanchard doing a good job getting out of the way immediately so these boys can race on. Sure Dylan would have liked Blanchard to stay in front there and give him a bit of a tow.
Jordan definitely making him work for it here.
James Scott about to start the last lap.
And keep an eye on that battle as it unfolds. Dylan here doing very well. He might stay with this battle a little bit longer. Just keep an eye on where James is. Was coming through the hairpin. These guys are heading down through the parabolic at the moment. Probably the last real chance for Ross to attack if he's got it. Big defensive move from O'Shea. Ross goes to the outside. And a little bit of contact. Was room given to Ross there? That is the question. Leave that one for race control. Ross goes to big move on the inside again. And Briggsy into the thick of the action.
Briggsy saying, I'll take the podium if you don't want it.
It's going to jump back on. We'll quickly give this man his duly credits. Well done to James Scott for taking the win. Going to jump back out back here. Briggsy's not done yet either. Still a curve left. Dylan Rudd home in P2. Jordan Ross slips through now on Briggs. Jordan Ross says, look up the inside. It's running out of fuel. Rudd's out of juice.
O'Shea, yeah.
O'Shea, sorry, yeah. Wow. He's across the line. He's got home in 6th. Done very well. Lucky O'Reilly and Nixon didn't get across in front of him.
Thomas Freeman with a black flag on the last lap as well.
Oh, that'll hurt once it goes through the iRacing thing. That was a epic drive though from those three boys, from Ross, Briggs, O'Shea, McNamara in the thick of it there as well. Let's try and find someone on track.
Tyson Broad with a black flag on the final lap, so incident points really coming into play at the end here.
Oh, that's going to hurt. And unfortunately, SDK won't adjust results for that, Mark. So keep an eye on that one as we jump on board here with Simon Chadwick. And he's going to bring it home for a Super 2 victory. He'd be pretty chuffed with that one. So some cracking drives there this evening, Mark. Just going to try something. Hopefully it might work for me. It doesn't. No, it won't, because I've gone to replay. And I've paused the time, so we won't worry about doing that. Go back to some live picks.
So Thomas Freeman ends up P19. He drops 6 spots. And Tyson Broad down to P20. So that last lap black flag for them boys really cruelled their night.
Yeah, definitely made it hard work for those guys, and that's something you've always got to be careful of. We talked about it last week when we looked at Magna Core. You know, I did say be very careful in that last corner. It will hurt. And a few of these boys definitely did feel that last week, and that did hurt them. And great drive, though, amongst these blokes. And we will have a few come in and talk to us in a minute. Really good stuff. James Scott, Dylan Rudd, Jordan Ross take the podium for the overall and Pro Series. Then we've got Simon Chadwick and Troy Stonestreet and Ty Delaney getting the honours in the Super 2 boys. So that's a great effort for those guys. Those guys would be pretty chuffed with that. I think they would be pretty ecstatic. And, of course, in the vets category, it is McNamara, Gamble and Visma. So Scotty just getting home in front of Anthony Visma. Anthony Visma, great drive for the Accelerate Sim Racing driver, getting himself home in 12th. So Scott, Rudd, Ross, Briggs, McNamara, Dylan O'Shea, O'Reilly, Nixon, Johnstone, Hobbs round out our top 10. So that was another cracking race, and only 2 left in this series with us going to Bathurst next week.
Yeah, big round at Bathurst next week, but yeah, congrats to James Scott, Dylan Rudd and Jordan Ross on the podium. Sean McNamara doing all the right things as well. Welcome back to Adam Briggs to the series in P4. Like I said, McNamara doing all the right things to keep his golden ticket hopes alive. Bad luck there for Dylan O'Shea at the end, running out of fuel, but that benefited McNamara. And then Jacob Riley, after his qualifying woes, doing a great job, up 3 spots in P7.
Yeah, he'd be pretty ecstatic with that. We'll have a quick chat now to the man who did it fairly easy from flag to flag this evening. Congratulations, Jordan. Congratulations, James.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, can't give him too much credit. That Jordan bloke.
No.
Eyes up too much.
Yeah, I apologise for that one. It was just, it's quite hot in here. I've had everything shut up because it's raining. How'd you find that one, mate? I think you did it fairly easy. Any dramas of lap traffic?
Nah, not really. There was one guy, I don't even know who it was. I just wanted him to get out of the way because I was on a heater, but which he did. So probably only held me up, a little bit. Maybe that was on a 7 or something from fastest lap. But yeah, no, the car was all right. Probably wasn't as good as last week, so I have to tune it up a little bit. But yeah, it's it was pretty decent, I guess.
Pretty decent. No, that's all right. And Dylan, you sort of had to do a little bit of work there early on to get yourself back up into P2.
Yeah, I think I need to go watch some tutorials on how to start the car.
Yeah, I was going to get to that one.
You used up all the good ones at Road Atlanta, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, made hard work for yourself.
Yeah, it wasn't an ideal start, but yeah, it was a bit of fun coming through passing some cars at the start there. So yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed Mr. Ross jumped on your coattails.
Yeah, I tried to brake him, but yeah, it was too quick, so I just held on in the toe there. Saved some fuel, I would say, but yeah.
And Jordan, mate, you created all the entertainment there in the end on that last lap.
How good was it?
It was epic. I think both of you had passed each other on either side, sort of going into the last 3 or 4 laps. So it was very entertaining to watch. Did you suspect that Dylan might have been out of fuel?
Nah. And I gave him a touch up on the last corner because I was into the throttle and he was just like run out of fuel, so I almost spun him.
Yeah, it was a good drive. Anyone you want to give a shout?
Banging doors.
Yeah, it was good racing. It was exciting to watch. Anyone you want to give a shout out to, James and Dylan?
Yeah, I wish all the guys at Lobs Esports and obviously Speed Cafe as well. It's great to have them on board. Wouldn't be able to do it without them. And Ryko as well. Head over there and grab some setups and try and go fast. So yeah, shout out to those guys and shout out to Dylan. We'll tune up his race pace a bit and he'll be good to go. And congrats to the old fella in third.
He's not one of our vets yet.
He's eligible, I think.
No, I think he's still a couple of months
No,
away.
another 20 years.
Dream on, dream on.
It's only a couple of months, isn't it, Jordan?
Oh, no.
Anyway, speaking of Ross the Boss, anyone you want to give a shout out to, mate?
Mate, just all you guys for rolling up and doing this and having to interview James every week. It's like a broken record. Yeah, just I've had gastro for the last couple of days, so I didn't do any laps.
Looks like it made you faster.
Picture that. I had a snail trail around the track all night, but so Damo and Brady put together a bit of a set, and I just rolled up tonight and drove it, so I was sick.
Too awesome. Obviously, you got back down to your race weight now.
I tell you what, I'm going to smash some Super Dupers tonight.
Anyway, on that note, guys, we're going to front up at Bathurst next week, which I think for a series where we've got 0 drop rounds, I think she's going to be a very interesting, tough challenge for quite a few of these guys, considering how hard we've all been racing. So any thoughts on that, guys?
Bathurst, yeah, it's pretty easy. We've driven there a fair bit, so yeah, shouldn't be too difficult. I'm glad you said that. I probably would have started practicing at Magello, but I'll maybe skip that week in officials and yeah, maybe do some Bathurst laps sometime during the week.
Yeah, of course, it'll be good to see. And anyway, on that note, we might say a huge thank you to you, Mark, for jumping in, keeping us entertained with your wealth of knowledge again this evening. big thank you to the drivers coming in, having a chat, as well as the other drivers out on track that put on a great show this evening. Huge thank you to our race control and race series admins. Been a cracking season with only 2 rounds left. And then, of course, a huge shout out to everybody in the chat. And, of course, next week we'll be back at the same time at the mountain itself. And, of course, I'm going to sign off with my new favourite catchphrase. Terry Taylor, say good day to your mum for me. And we'll see you all next week.
There's no arguing that people love their cars.
We weren't arguing.
They talk about their cars, sing about their cars. Some people even look like their car. Whether it's an old car, new old car, fast car, family car, electric car, race car, 2-wheel car, no-wheel car, or a car you know's parked around here somewhere. People who love their cars love to tinker with them. Some people tinker big, some people tinker small, some people tinker some degree between those 2 variables.
Whose voice is that?
And that's where Supercheap Auto comes in. We've been helping people tinker for 50 years. For people like Bill, Lucy, Kevin, other Kevin.
Oi, get off my car!
Didn't catch this guy's name.
It's Kevin.
Not Patrick. He doesn't shop with us. Whoever you are, whatever you drive, we'll help you make it super. Because super is our middle name. Well,